All right, guys, we're back. This is PJ Overtime, Political Junkies in your PJs. All right, and we're going to discuss this last question. Does it matter who Biden picks for VP? I want to jump in first. Go ahead, Gabe.
Un poquito.
Oh, you said Gabe, it matters. We're going to not get a good pick. I'm calling it now. It's going to be worse than we expect. So.
But I mean, does it matter who the pick is? That's the question.
But the question is, does it matter for who, right? Because for the progressive movement,
yeah.
It doesn't.
And by the way,
matter.
I want to give a quick shout out to my MCSC network, Fiorella. She was the one that I saw her post this on Twitter. So my question, I want to jump in real quick. I think it does matter who Biden picks. Why? Because Biden's on his last leg. God knows when the guy is gonna, God forbid, I'm a progressive, so I don't want anything bad to happen to him. But that person is right in line to be the next president of the United States. So that's why it matters to me, at least this is my opinion why it matters. It's the same way Obama had Biden. Then the next step is Biden they're going to say, oh, whoever Kamala Harris is next. Oh, let's give her they're going to clear the way for her to be president. So that's one.
I think I agree. I think it matters from the perspective of you're talking about a pick who likely, I don't think it'll be a woman of color, but if it is, it'll be Kamala, which actually makes it particularly dangerous because you're looking at a Kamala Harris who's essentially being installed, even though she clearly lost the election, which also shows how prominent the powers that be can be when we're talking about our elections. Yeah, we know that she was the one chosen by Hillary Clinton's donors. She inherited all of Hillary Clinton's staff. Maya Harris, her sister, was third chief advisor to Hillary Clinton. She lost despite having all that, but it doesn't matter because she's going to get put right back into the position to take over. And Biden made that very clear that the VP needs to be ready to take over basically immediately. So you're installing her into a 3-year term where she will not be scrutinized at all by leftist media. It will be no scrutiny.
And Wall Street loves her.
Yeah.
Oh, police unions love her. She can present herself as being progressive the entire time, and even make herself the victim, as in Biden didn't listen to me. Biden wouldn't listen to me. Republicans are the ones obstructing these policies that we want. She can literally make a career out of being the victim until she gets in the office. Bro, you gotta think Kamala could serve 3 years max, maybe even more than that, then run again then run again.
Listen.
That.
Yeah,
Totally.
I'm getting tired of this, Niko. Stop taking my points, man, for real. Listen, because this is where I was going with this. It's it matters because it could be somebody like Kamala Harris, where it's somebody that is basically being groomed to be the next president, or it could be somebody else where it's just throwing a bone through a certain constituency. I don't know who. It could be somebody that's more friendly towards a certain industry that Biden wants to please. But that's the word that see the difference. It doesn't going to help progressive regardless, but it could be either somebody that's going to be there as a gift to somebody, but it's not necessarily going to be the next Democratic nominee, or it could be somebody that's going to get groomed to have 11 years of presidency.
As much as it makes sense from our just general knowledge of how the establishment operates that Kamala will be the pick, I think people just grossly underestimate how much Biden does not care about the opinions of Black people. And he feels because it's easy to feel that way when you feel entitled to the vote already. So just because he may agree with Kamala, and actually Kamala's probably the best person to get the neoliberal agenda passed, that don't mean people forget this man is a literal segregationist. He can smile in front of Black people all he wants. Literally the other day, bro, whenever a person said, do you think it's fair that for Trump to question your cognitive ability, because you refuse to take a cognitive test? Don't you think you should take it? This man responded with, well, if you applying for a job and somebody asked if you were smoking crack. What?
Well, he did say cocaine. So he wasn't that racist.
So Susan Rice,
he thought he was a bougie Black person and not
what if he picked Susan Rice?
Oh God.
Yeah, Susan Rice is so worse. Go ahead.
I want to say real quick, can we talk about the voice that Biden does whenever he's talking to Black people? Come on, man.
I
was talking to Snowflake, and he does a terrible voice. There's every time Charlemagne, you ain't Black. It's horrible caricature that he does.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna reveal this for the overtime. Guys, look at the this is the meme of the week.
Blow it up.
Oh my God.
She said,
Yeah,
I'll
that's
never
good.
vote for you. Then he said, then I'm afraid you ain't black. And then it's a black little girl who turns white from his touch.
Oh man.
That's crazy.
Damn.
So on that last note, I real quick, Susan Rice.
Listen,
could be
Susan
the
Rice.
vice president.
I share with you guys one of my favorite Twitter followers. I can't remember, it's Amari. I can't pronounce his name. In case you know put it up, but he was saying in his YouTube video how Susan Rice is just either a horrible parent or a horrible Democrat because her son right now is the president of the Republican Club in Stanford.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, why are you going to have her as a Democratic nominee for vice president when she can't even convince her own son to be a Democrat?
Democrat.
Or maybe she did. I mean, she convinced him to be
To be a
what
Republican.
Democrats are, which is a Republican.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go.
But one
Basically,
point he made was that maybe the son, instead of being a fake elitist, he just decided to not put the facade of being progressive at all and just
Real
come
talk.
straight out with it.
Just come out
Real
with
talk.
it. All right, guys.
So, can I say
Go ahead.
this one thing before we go?
Yes,
That
sir.
whole comment about diversity is a really weird web. I understand why people feel both ways, but what needs to be understood about what Biden said is he's completely untrue, pretending like there's no diversity within the Black community, especially compared to the Latino community. Latino community has a lot of diversity, but guess what? One of the branches of diversity in the Latino community is actually being Black. We have Black Latinos, we have Black West Indians, we got Black people all over the world, Black
Yes, sir.
Africans, African American. Like it's we have Black people that are primarily mixed with Bengali, Black people that are primarily mixed with Indian, like literal Indian. We have a whole history of half Black, half Asian people from these various wars, from the Korean War to Vietnamese War. So they have different experiences. And we literally don't all vote as a monolith, and it's not even close. I would say the Black vote, if you actually dig into it, is split for the most part. It just says some people want to identify themselves as Black for various reasons. So that's just one of those things where I feel like Biden is displaying his ignorance uncritically, and yet people expect him to put Kamala. And like, yeah, logically, that's what this neoliberal establishment will do. But this man is literally racist, bro. He just is.
Absolutely. That's what we listen. I always tell people this. I always tell people that thing. Like they were like, "Oh, Trump is." We get it. We got Trump is blatantly racist. Everybody know about it. And Biden is like, we don't talk. We don't really try to talk about it. But if you know it, you know he's racist. It's just this if of about it. But so that goes back to always the point. Like, oh, who's less racist? So let's vote for the
Who's less racist? Wow. All right. All right, fellas. Much love to all my peoples. Niko, the man came through. This is overtime number 3. Check you guys later. And that's a wrap, guys. Yo, Niko, thanks for coming through and doing this for me. You had fun? Niko, you had fun?
Yeah, I had a dope time, man.
Yeah, he had fun looking at my notes. That's what he did.
Yeah, he was stealing off your
Man,
text.
look,
Cheating off your
I
text.
actually didn't